SourceFedNerd Movie Club, it's me Jenny, aka ClassyLibrarian, and this week's movie was The Last Action Hero starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And my quick review for this is I really enjoyed it. It was fun, it was entertaining. I got home from work, opened a bottle of cider, or a second bottle of cider, and watched it and enjoyed it for what it was, which was fun, silly. I really enjoyed the fact that this is definitely what makes a great parody, which is a love letter to a genre, and I would probably compare this to Hot Fuzz if I was to compare it to any other film, because there's this level of understanding of the genre tropes but having a heart to the film, and I really love that. It really understands, like, there's shots and things which really specifically reference the genre, like fast editing, zoom pans, and the switching between driving perspectives and things like that, which are just so quintessential of the action genre and work so well, and they're referenced throughout. So when it came to the real life stuff, I wasn't really laughing, but as soon as they went into these incredibly cheesy moments on screen, I was like, yep, I recognise this, and it's entertaining, it's fun, and what I like about this is it does go into a more grounded way, a more grounded world, where, you know, the sequence where the boy gets attacked by a mugger in his house is actually pretty scary. But then you go to the scene like the funeral scene, which is the most bizarre bit of film making I've seen in a little while, and it was hilarious. So it goes into this entire abstract, psychedelic sort of crazy world of action films, and it's enjoyable throughout. Yeah, I like it. I think the last third is perhaps almost, I was concerned it was going to get a little bit too meta, but it was saved by Charles Dance's performance, because he is such an extraordinary actor, and he's so well known for playing the villain that him in this role where he's playing a very theatrical character in a real world, the I've just killed a man and I did it on purpose, is just beautiful, and he's so wonderful on screen. You just love him being there. He's a villain that you love to be entertained by. So I really, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger does a great job in this film. You can tell he's having so much fun. The fact that he was willing to go all this way to have himself playing himself and being this character reminds me a lot of the Supernatural episode of The French Mistake. And you can tell he had a lot of fun with this, but I've got to say Charles Dance completely stole the show for a lot of this. Every time he's on screen, it's perfect, and the fact that he breaks the fourth wall and says, if a villain was a god, it would be me, is so perfectly encompassing this sort of meta version of an action film where it commentates on the fact that the little boy character is kind of like a deity to this world. He knows, he's omnipotent of the story plot lines. He knows what's going to happen before it happens. He already knows the things that he couldn't possibly know. He's like a deity. And so the fact that Charles Dance even says that is just perfect. And there's also a level of taking accountability for the audience and for the writers for putting these characters through trauma. In order to make a story interesting, you've got to put characters through trauma. It's very hard to make an interesting plotline without that dilemma, but that means that you're putting characters through something horrible, and then having those characters become self-aware, which is what happens in the last third of this film. It's really awesome and really well done, and it's a genre trope that I'm really interested in. So it's really nice to see classic quintessential action stereotypes mushed in with this very meta, very intellectual, cross-genre thing with a bit of fantasy thrown in the middle. And I liked it. It was fun. I definitely laughed out loud. I also was sunbathing at the time. I brought my laptop outside, and I think my neighbours probably think I'm slightly crazy, but they did that already, so it doesn't make much difference. And for the sake of complete and utter honesty, I am not particularly sober right now. I've had a couple of ciders, so I'm going to film this and upload it and leave it on private until I can watch it back when I'm sober, and hope that I haven't said anything ridiculously nonsensical. But oddly enough, as far as I know, I think I've made more sense in a review while drunk than I have while sober for a long time, so that's life. I really enjoy this film. I love the way that it's edited to be an action flick. I like the way that it battles with a lot of issues and a lot of different themes. I think the acting throughout is hilariously cheesy in the right places, but is able to encompass all of the things that this film was trying to say, and I definitely laughed out loud. So can't give this enough points. I think it would be very difficult to market to anyone. I would definitely recommend watching it with friends, perhaps watching it with alcohol, if you are of legal age. And yeah, that's my review. Feel free to comment down below and search the hashtag for other people. And I've got to thank the SourceFed editors because I've done it in a while, but you guys put up with me every single week, and good golly, I talk a lot. So that's about it. I think I should drink more because apparently I'm able to say a lot more words and a lot better when I am less than sober. Anyway, I'll see you guys all next week. Bye guys.